apologies, that took a bit of time there.
That's okay.
So I was just speaking to one of our officers just to run past them what's the best way to go forward with this one.
Yeah.
So what they've said is for yourself to make contact with the RSPB for them to look into this one. At the moment, it's not for the police to deal with.
Oh no, sorry. Can I stop it? Well, firstly, the RSPB are not the right authority to do it. The RSPB are just a educational and research organisation. They don't do anything with bird rescue and netting. Secondly, it is a criminal offence to leave a bird to suffer in there, so it would be under Police Scotland's remit to look into this. So I would strongly advise.
But there's nothing that says that whoever owns that building has to go up and get the bird, because my concern would be that if they release the bird, that they then just left it and didn't do anything with it. So I don't know then potentially the RSPCA that can deal with it. Certainly it's not at the moment for the police. Like whoever the owner of the building has not intentionally went out to cause the bird harm. No,
that's sorry.
They've obviously got tied up in the netting.
Firstly, one point, the RSPCA don't operate in Scotland, only England. Secondly, it doesn't matter whether there's intention or not, it's recklessness. That bird, if it was in its wild state, it's absolutely fine. The fact that the bird is no longer in a wild state, it comes under the Animal Welfare Act 2006. And like I said, I've had this checked legally. I spent £1,500 for my business to get this researched by a legal firm and have that come back. So I know for sure that it is a crime if that bird's been there for more than 25 hours. The 25-hour rate is set by DEFRA for how long a bird can be in a situation of being trapped without having any food or water. So the 25-hour stage has passed. I don't know if the officer you spoke to is a wildlife crime officer. If they're not, I would strongly advise getting a wildlife crime officer to look at this or contact me back. But it is a police matter. Regardless of whether the police want to deal with it or not, it is a police matter. It is a crime. And that's not me trying to be funny or be arsey in any kind of way. It is. I know it's a police matter because I've had this researched. But that bird being stuck, whether the police want to do it or not, they've got more important things to do. It's still a wildlife crime, and that crime should still be investigated. Otherwise, what was the point of having laws which police are saying we don't think it's a crime and nothing about? It is a crime has been committed.
Well, certainly from what the officers told me, it's not for ourselves to deal with, and it would be for one of the charities, like the RSPCA, that would deal with it, or the SSPCA, to make contact with them in the first instance to see what they say about it. But certainly, from what the officers told me, is that it's not for the police to deal with, and obviously I'm not going to argue with that. That's what they have told me. Okay,
in that case, can I be put through either to a sergeant or to a wildlife crime officer, please?
No.
Why not?
Because we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't transfer. I've already been told by an officer, and I've just passed on what they have told me.
Okay, I'm making a serious complaint about a wildlife crime which has taken place where an animal's suffering, and you're refusing to put me through to either a sergeant or to I'm recording this, by the way, or to a wildlife crime officer.
All our calls are recorded.
That's great because that's fantastic.
I am passing on the information I've been given by an officer that works in that area, so I'm not going to argue with what they've told me.
So you're telling me they're qualified in wildlife crime?
They've said it's not for the police to deal with. Obviously, if you're not happy with that, you can submit a complaint about that. But certainly at the moment, it's not for the police to deal with.
But if a crime's been committed, then there is a police matter.
But the officer told me that's not a crime.
Well, okay, but then he obviously doesn't know. So does he know every single law about wildlife? We just want to verify this for the recording, because obviously if I'm going to submit a complaint, I want to be very clear that you're making it very clear to me that this officer knows all about wildlife law and animal law.
He's an officer that is trained, and he works in the resolution team, so they are aware of, they're who we go to when obviously ourselves as service advisors need a bit of advice, so they are aware of the variety of crimes that come through to them. He's told me that it's not for the police to deal with.
And what reason did he give for that?
Sorry?
What reason did he give it's not for the police to deal with when there is no doubt about a crime being committed?
But what is the crime?
under the Animal Welfare Act 2006, that bird is suffering. You can look at the law itself. They should know the law if they've been trained as they claim. That bird is in a state.
I'm trying to find out what aspect, because obviously the person who owns the building, they've not intentionally went out to harm that animal.
Oh, it doesn't matter. With intention's not involved in this.
We can't demand someone goes up and climbs a building to do that, because that's not for the police to do.
No, but if a bird's stuck in netting when it's not in its free state, which is the case we have here, it's no longer deemed in its wild state. It comes under the Animal Welfare Act 2006. If that animal's deemed to be suffering, it is a crime. It's not got access to food or water. It's not in a free state. It's been there over 25 hours, which is the threshold set by DEFRA for birds being kept in, birds which are trapped or kept in traps. So therefore, those birds are suffering. Therefore, there is a crime being committed, and it's one of the sections under the Animal Welfare Act 2006, which clearly states. I'll be happy to speak to the officer.
Have you contacted the SSPCA?
They've been contacted numerous times, and they're not responded.
No, have they been contacted today about this?
They have, yes, they have already been contacted, as they were contacted the other day, and they've not been able to do anything about it. So therefore, all that's doing.
That doesn't then make it a police matter. The SSPCA can deal with those type of things. The police can't. Like, the police aren't going to climb up and get the bird.
I've not asked you to climb up and get the bird. I'm saying there's a crime being committed.
The people who can actually help the bird are the SSPCA. The police can't.
So I've spoke to the SSPCA.
If you re-contact the SSPCA, explain to them exactly what's happened. If they then turn around and are requiring police assistance, then certainly call us back. But at the moment, the officer I spoke to said it's not for the police to deal with, and it would be for one of the charities like the SSPCA.
I've spoken to the SSPCA. Okay. They'll do their investigation. I'm telling you, a crime has been committed, regardless whether the SSPCA can save the bird or not. A crime has already been committed in that circumstance.
From what aspect?
Well, I thought I'd just lay that out really clear. And as the bird's not in its free state, it's not got access to food or water, and it's been trapped for over 25 hours, under the Animal Welfare Act 2006, that bird is deemed suffering. And it will be the same if it was a cat.
Who has committed the crime?
That's not for me to investigate, is it? That's for the police to investigate.
The bird has got itself stuck in this
net. It doesn't matter whether the bird's stuck or not, of its own volition. The fact is, if that netting's not maintained and that bird's stuck and the bird's suffering and the trustee knows the bird's up there, and now you're refusing to put me through to a sergeant, refusing to put me through to a wildlife crime officer, who I'd probably have a lot more success with because they know the law. I've even talked to other police forces around the UK about this, to their teams, to educate them about this, and had good success. And I'm quite shocked, to be honest, that you're refusing to put me through to a sergeant, or you're refusing to let me speak to a wildlife crime officer. That's just unheard of, especially when there is a crime. I'm telling you, there's a crime being committed, and no one's interested in investigating.
Right, okay, well, what I've already said, contact the SSPCA again. If they require police assistance, you can certainly call us back and let us know that. But from what the officers told me, it's not for the police to deal with at the moment.
Okay, and what's the reference number for this call, please? Right, okay, and I will be making a complaint, because this is absolutely ridiculous that you wouldn't even let me speak to another officer, and that officer clearly has no idea what they're on about. And like I say, I have recorded this, so I will use this as part of my complaint.